What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Hopefully you're well. It's Tuesday, May 19th at 11:15 a.m. This is our first live stream of the day. Guys, check the fight predictions playlist, the Stats Don't Lie videos. I just dropped our first one of the week. It's the co-main event this weekend in San Jose, California, between Robin Safar and Yamil Peralta. Check that out. I give you my breakdown, analysis, and prediction. Good odds as well. If that fight's not on your radar, if you're not seeing it on your book, just be patient. It's still early. We're off to a hot start in terms of posting picks and parlays. Even though the books aren't showing all the fights, I've already given you guys, let's see, for all the JSB insiders, check the Patreon, check the members only post section. You guys should have one, two, three, four tickets. 4 tickets are up, plus our quarterly parlay. So 5 tickets in total. Our quarterly parlay plus 492. It was a 9-legger. We need 4 legs left, so the first 5 came through. The first ticket of the week is a method of victory double, paying plus 118. Then we have our knockout prop playing a $1.20. I also gave you guys a triple, moneyline triple, paying plus 149. And then just about an hour ago, experimenting a little bit, doing a little bit of round betting. I gave you guys a round double, paying plus 167. So all the JSP insiders, you have 4 tickets with plenty more to come. My book is only showing, not that many fights, but for the fights that they're showing us, there's a lot of money to be made thus far. So just be patient if your books aren't showing the fights, and we'll get to it. We have a long week to go. We are still in our research phase, our film study phase. I'll take all of your questions. If you have any questions about the Rob Safar fight versus Peralta, if you have any questions about potential parlay legs, feel free. Also, if you're in the Discord, I gave you guys my NBA parlay. We got game 1 of the Western Conference Finals on. Right now, the Spurs are leading the OKC Thunder 36-29 with about 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Wemby just missed a bunny. And here we are. Start saying what's up. As you tap it in, like this video. Let me know where you're coming in from. We got Adari Penitent, Jai Apataya versus David Benavidez would be fireworks. That is a fact. Will they fight anytime soon? Who knows? Let's get Turkey on and get that money popping. You know what I'm saying? Money talks. Hey Johnny, how do you feel about the potential Ben versus Garcia fight happening in September? I think that's a great fight for Ryan Garcia. I think it's financially speaking, a great fight for Conor Ben. When we're talking about a guy who has done more in terms of Conor Ben isn't a complete boxer. Where he falls short from a skill set perspective, he makes up for from a marketing perspective and his willingness while he's in the fight. He's a very determined fighter. So you don't have to love Conor Ben in or out of the ring. You don't have to say he's the most talented boxer of all time. The one thing, and there's arguments for that, obviously. The one thing you can't say, when he's in a fight, he's at least trying. It's admirable. He's going to make a boatload of money, probably who knows, a lot of money. And he's fighting for a world title. Will he beat Ryan? I don't think so. I don't think Ryan's the most well-rounded fighter either, though. I just think Ryan's speed, power, his skill set, it should be enough to beat Conor Ben. Cody, what's up, buddy? Checking in. The Boss Christo says, morning, Johnny. Couldn't make it to the live yesterday. Shout out to my boy, the Korean Superboy, Doohoo Choi, getting the job done as an underdog. I had him all week, as well as Juan Diaz beating Wellmaker. Wow, that's a great double. I didn't know you were going against Wellmaker with Juan Diaz, but I do know, I gave you a shout out in our Discord all week last week on the lives and in our Discord. We had Christos telling us that the Korean Zombie was going to win. I unfortunately missed the bet. I'm a fan of Korea, not the Korean Zombie, Korean Superboy, the Korean Superboy. I'm a fan of Doohoo Choi. It's just there was so many fights on. I just forgot to bet it. I did give you your flowers though. Let me load. So Spurs are up 40-32. If you guys are playing along, I'm going to keep it boxing related as we always do for the first half. But then, it's only Tuesday. There's not a lot to talk about. I'm going to put the live scoring of the game on as well. Because, we're not just a boxing Discord. We're a professional betting Discord. And the boys got some action. But we're going to keep it boxing for now. Safar versus Peralta, fight to go the distance. I have Safar on the money line. Will it go the distance? Look, neither guy is an aggressive, come forward pressure fighter. You know what I'm saying? Both guys, if you watch my breakdown, they both kind of like counterboxing. They both kind of like staying on the back foot. They both like controlling the fight at range. It could be a little boring. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a boring fight. I could see it going the distance. I could see Safar winning a decision. I got him on the money line. The odds are paying. The odds on the money line each way are pretty good. You got Safar at $1.49, I think, so 49% return. And Peralta is, I think, $1.45 dog. Might as well just bring those odds up real quick. Yeah, so Safar's $1.49. Peralta is a plus 185. I know Barry Unboxing, one of our boys in the chat, he likes Peralta as the dog here, the Argentinian fighter. I have to disagree. I just think that Safar is going to be a little bit more power, a little bit more active, a little bit more volume. He's the A side. I think he's going to edge a decision. Plus 850 locked and loaded. Let's go, Kingdom Life. As a Philly guy, I'll be right there with you rooting for the Cavs over the Knicks, hopefully. Yeah, I got to be honest, when Cleveland beat Detroit yesterday, I was getting a bunch of messages. I come from a very sports-oriented background in town. I still am in contact with a lot of the guys I grew up playing sports with. I never thought I'd see a day of the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals without LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully the team and the franchise don't have one of these series where they're just happy to be there. Hopefully, if they've just been so hit or miss in the playoffs this season, the whole year actually. If the team that showed up in Game 7 or even Game 4, we're going to be competitive. But the team that showed up in Game 6, we got blown out at home. We'll see what happens. What's up, Jay? Appreciate you. As you're tapping in, like the video. Boxing fan. Johnny, you see the boxing fan 9K? Do you see with the boxing fan 9K bet in the Discord? I saw your parlay. Hold on, let me pull it up. You bet? That's not your style. What channel in the Discord? You mean the parlay that could hit? That shit's hilarious. Let me know which ticket you're talking about. Christos, you've been on fire. Brian Norman Jr. was looking sharp. Oh, yeah. BNJ. I mean, you got to understand, guys. The week before the Brian Norman Jr. fight, all the boxing bettors saw David Morrell as a massive favorite, 10-1 favorite lose. So that caused a lot of trepidation by the bettors. There were people who were like hesitant on betting Brian Norman Jr. to even win. I was like, you guys are smoking dope. BNJ is going to storm through Wagner. It's exactly what he did. That Ukrainian curse lurking in my mind, I can't lie. There is a Ukrainian curse, man. Think about it. I mean, you got Chukachan. We listed it. Boachuk, Chukachan, Berenchik. There's another one. Hopefully Usyk isn't added to that. Jack Catterall has to make a statement. I think he will. Giasov's tough. I don't think Giasov's on Jack's level. Not as a professional. I'm not that impressed with Giasov. Both southpaws. I think Jack's sharper. I think his backhand's better. I think his overall fight experience is going to be enough to get him to where he wants to go. Jack Catterall's world level, man. I think that Giasov has been handled in a specific way up until now. It's one of those fights where he's going to have to show me something. I'll be uploading my breakdown and prediction of Catterall versus Giasov this week. I'm going to do a video on that fight and some other fights, so just stay tuned. Bro, I stand on what I said. Shy is the most unwatchable player I've seen. Yeah, I'm not a fan of SGA. He's super soft. Like I said, the only people wearing SGA jerseys are people who live in OKC. Oh, my parlay. It got cooked. So, okay, boxing fans talking about my parlay. It got cooked because of De'Aaron Fox is out. So I had to do a new one. Yeah, so my new one. I don't know how your books are, guys, but like if I do a parlay and a prop parlay in the NBA and a player gets scratched, the whole parlay gets voided and they give you your money back. So I just had to redo another one, and it's not that good. Do you race Safar over Rozicki? Ryan had all those advantages over Peralta and got a split decision overturned by the WBC, and the rematch ended in a draw, and both fights for the A side's backyard. I don't really rate Rozicki. I like Robin. I like Robin. I think he's coming to win. I think he would beat Rozicki. Rando, what up? I made a parlay. Where's the parlay app, player? Did you post it? I see the parlays I see. Cody's. I'll go back to the Discord for the boys. This is Cody's. King of Fitness. Cloud. Anyone taking the Spurs? They voided. Stephen Castle. John McGann. Harper's 20 years old. Needs to step up. Shy is the most unwatchable player I've ever seen. I grew up on Kobe. Footwork. John McGann at Luke. You have some horrible takes, my friend. Stop reacting to my posts. John McGann. Shush, lad. The only pick of mine you've reacted to saying it lost hadn't started. You guys are arguing about picks in the Discord? Come on. Biggs, what language is this? A robot. You guys are acting crazy in there. Boy, y'all boys better get it together. Don't let the moderators come in there, boy. Is this real? Oh, no. PJ sharing. Is PJ sharing fake news again? PJ says that Devin signing with Zuffa. I don't know how true as that is. Let me check. I didn't see Devin signing. I know they Papa Haney teased it earlier last week. Devin Haney targeted by new top contender. No, it's not. It's not real. It's not real, PJ. Let's go back to the odds. Hey, guys, I'm going to do a rundown real quick of the odds that they're giving us. Now, wherever you are in the world, your book is going to be different. Right now, I'm only getting a handful of fights. Jordan Panthin versus Pacheco. John Ramirez versus Fernandez. I'm not sold on Darius Fulgham, man. I'm thinking I got to do my film study on Arisha here. But I've won money on fading. I've already won money fading Darius Fulgham when he fought Beck the Bully, Bektamir Melikuziev. I'm not, and then DFG hasn't had a win in a while. He has that loss, and then he has a draw. I don't know much about his opponent. I think his opponent might be, is he Cuban? I think I've seen Yoanki Uridia fight before once. I think he might be Cuban. Plus 550. I gotta see. I think I might have D. I always fade Fulgham. You know, I don't rate him. So he might be on upset alert. Amari Jones is going to handle business. Shout out to Amari Jones getting the main event in San Jose, California. Rob Safar versus Peralta is on the undercard. I got Safar on the money line there. Shout out to my girl May Solomon. She's in way over her head against Haruta. Solomon was getting beat pillar to post. She was down on every card going into the seventh against a very green 20-year-old Jazzy Parr. But Solomon dug deep and stopped Jazzy Parr. She was a minus. She was a plus 700 in that fight. I think Mizuki's on a different level though. So I'm putting Haruta on a parlay and I'm waiting for props to drop. Sanchez versus Torres. I think Torres stops Sanchez. Hamza Shiraz. I think Shiraz stops Bejic. Catterall versus Giasov. I got Catterall on the money line and on points, but I could see a world where, yeah, I got Catterall on points. Samaki, glad to see that they rescheduled the Hadrabej and Samaki fight. I think Samaki, I rate Samaki. Young buck, still, by no means a finished product. Still green, but I rate him, man. I think he's one to watch out for. Put an asterisk by Bakary Samaki's name. This fight was supposed to go down a month ago. They rescheduled it. Shout out to the boys, whoever rescheduled it. And then Usyk versus Verhoeven. I got a prop here. I like Usyk 1 through 6. Check your books. Other than that, that's all I'm getting. But we're going to get more. It's only Tuesday. It's Monday in America. We're already knee deep in our film study. We're knee deep in research. We're 17 minutes in. I got 50 of you savages in here. Like this video. We got action on the NBA Western Conference Finals. If you're in the Discord, you would know that. To join our Discord, the link is pinned. It's a couple bucks a month. Become part of our growing community. We just passed 500 insiders last week. August will be our 1-year anniversary. Let's go. I'm going to catch up to the questions now. I probably answered a lot of these. Rico should be allowed to, right? I am more scared of the Cuban curse. Dude, the Cuban curse is legit. The Cuban curse is legit. Frank Sanchez, Cuba. The Dominicans haven't been looking too well either lately, though. I got to be honest with you. It'll be interesting to see how fast Jack's scar tissue opens up and how he responds to those body shots. The liver shot king will be in the building. Everybody has scar tissue, big dog. I'm not, yeah, I think he'll be fine. He doesn't really let you get close. Loving the parlays. Let's go, McGanna. I like Jack against Giasa. I think that matchup's perfect for him. I think that match is perfect. Dude, Jack Catterall, not many people beat him. There aren't many guys who can beat him. High fight IQ, good jab, slick boxer, great backhand, good timing, getting a bit meaner the older he gets, learning this. I like the little fight camp he did in Philly. Got a stoppage in his last fight against, Abbas Barral. Not Abbas Barral. Not Abbas Barral. The kid who just got stopped. We just saw him fight. I don't know why I get mixed up between Abbas Barral and the Engine. Frank Sanchez versus Torres is going to be such an. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be interesting. I rate Kiki Torres. I think Kiki Torres is a potential future world champ. Dude, you don't see many 6'2" heavyweights moving like he moves. His output, his volume, he throws punches at odd angles. He's going to be in your grill the entire time. That Guido Vianello win is a very good win for a young heavyweight. I think he's only 26 years old, still developing, growing into his man body. He ticks a lot of boxes for me, man. I think that speed and volume is going to drown Sanchez. I think he stops him. Did I play? I think I'm playing. I think one of my tickets I'm playing the Torres stoppage. I don't think Frank Sanchez is 100% either. I got Torres on the money line. Yeah, I'm playing the stoppage, dude. Plus 120, full unit. Let's go. 12 rounder. I don't think Frank Sanchez lasts 12 rounds with Kiki. I got to be honest with you. I need Wemby to start shooting threes. I need Wemby to start shooting some threes. Let's go, boxing fan. We up. Deuce Report in the house. The Deuce Report. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, reporting to you live. The Deuce Reports. What's up, buddy? Do you think Rico versus Usyk goes over 5.5? My bet actually on Rico versus Usyk, I just gave it to the insiders. In a parlay, I actually like 1 through 6. So the odds that I like, and I'm parlaying it with something else, is Usyk 1 through 6. So he needs to get it done somewhere in between rounds 1 and 6. So to answer your question, no. Thoughts on? I think I answered that. Speaking of, Rosicky has a main event coming up, doesn't he? Speaking of Rosicky, I'm surprised CBS didn't open as a bigger favorite. He's tailor made for CBS to be entered. Yeah, I think Chris Billum Smith is just one of these guys. If you remember when he fought Brandon Glanton, the odds were pretty close too. I thought CBS should have been much bigger favorite against Brandon Glanton. He wasn't. It was close, and the odds actually baited me into taking Glanton as a dog. And Chris fought well. Gritty, we know how durable he is. I think he handles Rosicky. Are they counting the shot? 51-44 half. Spurs got the lead. Dude, Wemby, Spurs are tough to beat. And the Spurs are ahead of schedule. Yeah, he didn't get that shot off. One of my favorite players in all of NBA is Steph Castle. Steph Castle's a baller. He's like 21 years old. Who do I see Norman fight next? Do you think he should move up? No, he shouldn't move up, man. 147 is perfect for him. He's not a big dude. He's only 5'8". I think he just, maybe he just had his timing off with his weight cut. Weight cuts are brutal. He's way too, I think he's too small for 54. He's only 5'8". He's muscle bound, but he's not a big dude. You ever meet him? He's not a wide sort of guy. I think he should he's still young. Maybe he's going to fill out and add some more, maybe as he gets older, he goes up to 54. I don't think he should move up now. I think he should be worried about becoming a two-time champion at 47. I'd love to see him versus Raleigh. Let's go. I think that fight makes sense. Those two styles, Raleigh versus BNJ would be dope to see if he could get a belt back. We got Lewis Crocker fighting Liam Perro for Crocker's belt. And Garcia got a belt and Devin Haney got a belt. So that's 47's landscape. Look, Brian, before Abdullah, Bam was the youngest boxing champ. And then Brian Norman Jr. was the youngest when he got elevated. So it wasn't that long ago. Brian Norman Jr. was our youngest champion. And then right before he lost, Abdullah Mason became the youngest. Shout out Cleveland, Ohio. 216, baby. Northeast Ohio, we up. So Brian Norman Jr. is still young. What, 25 years old? He's just not a big dude. They're 154, dude. 5'8". Could you imagine him in the ring with Sebastian Fundora? Sheesh. Even like he would be small against a lot of those guys. Norman would be small against Virgil. He'd be small against Jerron. He didn't want that Jerron fight. People were acting like Brian's dad talked all that stuff. Brian did not want that smoke with Jerron Ennis at all. Let it be told. Let it be known, too. I like both guys. There's no way when he was 23, he was ready to fight Jerron. Sorry, I got cut out. Torres looking great in boat camp. They have a great team. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Bomax team, they got, who else is in there? Some sleeper guys in there. Lester Martinez is there. You got, who else is in there? You got Avius Griffin, fights out of Omaha. And another young fighter just went over there. They got some good talent. No, I don't see it. No, she can't. Look, if Jazzy Parr didn't run out of gas, Jazzy Parr just had a complete meltdown. She was beating the piss out of May. And Jazzy Parr is a kickboxing Muay Thai background. Mizuki, all wrong. She's tough, though. I like May. Shout out to May Solomon. She has a chance. She won her last fight as a plus 700 dog. I don't think she beats Mizuki, though. Sanchez has a history of knee injuries, may lack movement. They say Sanchez is 33. You must be out your goddamn mind. He's not 33. He might be 50. Is Mizuki? See that? I think it could be. She's not a big puncher though. But May, the thing about May is she's tough as nails. She's slow. She's durable. She could punch. But Jazzy was piecing her up. If Jazzy Parr was piecing her up, it could be a scenario of just outclassing May in a sort of volume stoppage, like a flurry. I could see a world. I don't have odds yet. I might play that. I might do a value prop on that. I think Mizuki only has 2 knockouts, but like May, May's a great story. She was. Watch the Jazzy Parr fight. It was unbelievable. It was an amazing come from behind victory. I like the over 1.5 in the Usyk fight. No, Solomon's up against it. Yeah, James Daly knows what time it is. Jack Massey fight. I'm not getting odds on yet. If Sanchez walks in the ring without a knee brace padding, I'm going to assume that he feels good and the knee is healthy. It's plus 650. Sanchez by stoppage might be a sprinkle for me. Kiki rushes in. He does. We're all about the sprinkles out here, boy. Start calling us Dairy Queen. Amari no distance. Torres no distance. Hamza by knockout. Boom, 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 boom. Triple knockout. Triple parlay. I like it. I'm not getting Amari props yet. And I took Kiki by stoppage. I got Kiki and Hamza, though. Bands, we in the house. Guys, we're not even 30 minutes in. There's 73 in here. Let's get a thumb up. What up, Johnny? What do you think about Xander and Boots? Look, I've obviously as a team, as a collective team, the JSB squad, we got a team of 500 savages, boy. I've been thinking, we've all been in the back of our mind. You know, we do our week-to-week breakdowns. We got the fights right in front of us. But as soon as we saw Xander and Boots sign, our whole team, it's been right there on the side, our shoulder, right? And I've been going back and forth. But as we get closer and closer, I'm leaning more and more and more to Duran. More and more and more to Duran. I started Team Xander. I started way on the other side. I started to, and then as we get closer and closer, it's really, really hard for me to see Xander having enough power, having enough speed, having enough versatility. It bothers me. The one thing that is bothering me about taking Xander is his lack of versatility from his offensive bag. Sometimes his game could be predictable, and when you have a predictable offensive game against a guy like Duran, who strives off of his unpredictability and his sort of unorthodoxness at times, and his speed and his reflexes mixed with his power and his confidence, you're not going to find a more free-flowing guy in there. And so the more I was thinking about that, the more I was, and also something that's underrated about Duran that doesn't get spoken about it enough. One of my favorite things about his game is actually his fight IQ, his decision making. Now, does he get hit a little bit too much for my liking? Yes. Would I like for him to keep his hands up more? Yes. I'm a coach. But when you watch his decision making of when he chooses to fight at range versus when he chooses to cut the distance, stay at mid range, but then come into the pocket, because he could fight at all three. His decision making in those moments, high level. His connection with his father, listening to his dad in the corner. Should I go for the stoppage? You could see in his recent performances, even though it was a quick one against Usman Lima, he was listening. His pops was like, go get it. And he went to get that sort of connection is a rare thing as well. I just think there's too many variables for Xander's eyes to overcome. I don't think Xander does one thing exceptionally better than Duran. So when I'm thinking from a logical perspective, this is why we win money. You always got to go with that. You always have to ask yourself that. Is Xander's approach, his sort of orthodox technical approach, going to be enough to beat Duran? I see like one path to victory of Xander. I see multiple paths to victory for Duran. Jack Massey versus Chev Clark. Did tape on it. When are they fighting? Are they fighting? Is that on this card? I'm not getting any of those undercard fights. Last time I taped Chev Clark was when he fought Vidal Riley and he lost me money. How you feel about the Hamza fight? Hamza, I'm sold on Hamza. I'm sold on Hamza. He made me a believer. Are we in? Should I? Yeah, congrats. Guys, you have no idea behind the scenes. I want to give a little shout out to my girl. She started her own company. She was an equity partner in a big firm for years, right? And she took a leap of faith. It was killing her. You know, she was the first female equity partner in an accounting firm in Sydney in the CBD, and she it was just killing her. And you know, a year ago she resigned. She went out on her own. She took some time off, and she's going through that phase of building her own business. You know, the trial and error of getting rejected and doing proposals. And she just messaged me. Congratulations, your proposal was accepted. Hell yeah, it makes me so happy, man, because I know how hard she works. Amazing. She just messaged me right now. Should I? And I told her the minute she gets her first client, I'm booking her favorite restaurant. And we every week I'm like, should I book? Should I book? She's like, no, don't book. Should I book? Yeah. Should I book? Should I book? She goes, that's freaking awesome. That's great news. That's amazing. Yeah, man. All right, let's move forward. Shout out to Chrissy and my girl. Sanchez TKO, cat decision, shock decision, Usyk. I like it. I think I'm not even. I can't wait for that shock fight. I think shock is gonna belt the ass. Voorhees, do you think Tiger gets a title shot? I think he should, man. He's one of my favorite guys at 47. Tiger, I'm high on Tiger. You guys know that. I've been preaching Tiger Johnson since the amateurs. Maybe it's because I'm from Northeast Ohio. I always said this kid was cutting way too much weight at 140. I was like, wait till he fills out, move him to 47. And he's looked great at 47. And his skill set, great bag. Speed, timing, countering, feet. He's a dark horse at 47. I agree. I think that it could be as wide that, I think the levels are going to be so wide between Mizuki and May that there could be a potential for a stoppage. So it could be a value play. I got Jack Massey against Chef Clark. He's plus 130. What book self-made? Moses versus Jai would be a good future fight. Moses versus Jai. Well, Moses is a big heavyweight and Jai is a small cruiserweight. So I don't know. Jai's not a big cruiserweight, guys. He's not a big like he's solid, but he's not like a massive cruiserweight. When you like, you know what I'm saying? He's like he's lean muscle. He's not bulky build. So I think he would try. I think Jai would get stopped against Moses, dude. I'm a Jai fan, but Moses, I think Moses is 6'5", big ass athletic heavyweight who's fast, who could crack, who like we'll see. I might be speaking of him. Look, I I'm an Australia, I've been in Australia since 2013. I've watched Jai's whole career. I'm the one who picked Jai to win on points against Brandon Glanton. I'm not sold on Jai being this Terminator. To say that he could just move up to heavyweight and beat Moses, but then again, Moses only has a hand. Moses is still young. He's only 21. Jai's a grown ass man. It's an interesting matchup. I think that if Jai would have any, if we're playing futuristic, random matchups, Jai would have to fight him now. Because Moses in 3 or 4 years, he's going to go on a run. I think Moses is going to be one of these guys that goes on this sort of run that doesn't lose. I mean, Jai's power. I mean, Glanton is a goddamn animal, though. You got to hit Glanton with. Jai was hitting him with everything. Yeah, I think Moses is that dude. I just think at the heavyweight division, when you have that size and speed, if you're looking at the scientific equation, if we're talking plyometrics, strength and conditioning, there's a scientific equation to get to power. What is the equation to get to power, right? Speed. Speed, you start with speed, speed gets you to power. You mix that with size and timing, what Moses has, he's going to be a freaking nightmare, guys. He's going to be a freaking nightmare. Charlie Edwards in the house. Let's go, baby. You guys are getting all of these fights right now. See, this is something that I'm MOU 187. I don't have that, but I got my eyes on it, bro. I got my eyes on you. So even though when you look at the records, you're gonna be like, Johnny, what do you mean? Mizuki only has 2 knockouts. Yeah. It could be a levels thing. Yeah, sprinkled with 31 flavors. Butterscotch, my favorite flavor. Baskin Robbins was my favorite. Let's go. He's on the Zuffa card 07. He's on Zuffa 07. Appreciate you, self-made. I gotta check. Is there a Zuffa card this weekend? Usyk should get the guy out of there. Yeah. Guys, Rico's a kickboxer. 0 head movement. Even in kickboxing, he wasn't a one-punch knockout guy. He was known for his leg kicks. Dutch kickboxing is brutal low leg kicks and then set the hands up. So good on Usyk to get the bag, or good on my boy Rico to get the bag. I've been watching Rico for over a decade. Rico Verhoeven. The day, check out Badr Hari. If you guys like Dutch kickboxing, there was Rico. Before Rico, there was Badr Hari. And then even though Badr Hari was Moroccan, he was a Dutch style kickboxer. Brutal elbows. Not all kickboxing leagues allow the elbows. I know Muay Thai traditionally. I swear, dude, Badr Hari was a goddamn insane savage. And then check out Ramon Dekkers. He was that generational. It was Rico, Badr, Ramon. Rest in peace, Ramon Dekkers. Shiraz's opponent's absolute gift. No, yeah, he's getting a stoppage. It's just going to come down to when does he stop him. Are we going to get sexy on the rounds? Probably Shiraz 1 through 6. I think that's what I'm playing. Didn't I play that? I played. Yeah, guys, I played Shiraz. Let me show you a prop I really like. The JSB insiders will know this. I like this. I never. This is usually not my style. You guys know that. I like this prop so much. I put this in a parlay. So obviously Hamza on the money line, not playable. Hamza by knockout. I got something better than $1.23. Right there. 69% return. Hamza 1 through 6. 69% return. So 1,000 gets you 6,900. 100 gets you $69. Or you could piece that up with a, Jack Catterall money line. You're in plus money. You could use that as a parlay piece or go heavy. I have action on Hamza. Takes $1.69. Skate review in the house. Who do you have on the Christian Oliveira fight May 30th? Guys, I'm sorry. I live my life week to week. My mind is strictly focused on what's in front of us. I haven't looked there yet, but I'll look. And if you really want me to break the fight down, just send me a message. I'll break it down. Hand history vault. Johnny, any sleeper picks this weekend, which people are counting on? I'm not getting all of the fights yet. The sleeper picks, the film study I'm still doing. Look, full transparency. It's a great question, history. All right, so give me a second. I've already done my film study, and I've already given you one Stats Don't Lie video, right? That's Robin Safar versus Yamil Peralta. So I've already done that. The second one I'm giving you is Catterall versus Giasov. That's coming up tomorrow. And then you guys are also, I'm going to do Bakary Samake versus Hadjabej, the Samake Hadjabej fight. I'm going to get to Kiki Torres, Frank Sanchez. That's already 4 fights. I think put an asterisk by this guy. And it's nothing to say that Uridia is good. But I don't trust Darius Fulgham. I've won money fading Fulgham in the past. We got freaking Bektamir Melikuziev as a dog against Darius Fulgham last year. And Melikuziev dropped him late. It was a close fight. Bektamir, I still had Bektamir winning the fight without the knockdown, but he ended up getting a knockdown late, and then it pushed him over the edge in a close hometown scorecards. I think the fight might have been in New Mexico. I know DFG is a Texas kid, and we know Melikuziev isn't. He's not American, right? And then Fulgham fights in another fight in which he's the favorite, and he draws. And now he's fighting a Cuban, Yoanki Uridia. I'm not saying Uridia is gonna win. I don't know much about Uridia. I know I'm gonna look at Uridia's tape. Every time Darius Fulgham fights, if he's a 5-1 favorite, an 8-1 favorite, I'm doing film study on his opponent. We should have a new category for that. I don't know what it's called. You know, we have categories for everything else in our group. Every time DFG fights and he's the favorite, I'm taping his opponent because the upset at this stage of the game is always live. Bovada has Massey fight Zuffa card. Is that this weekend? Man, I forgot any Tiger. He needs to fight more often. Matter of fact, I think he stops Keyshawn. Well, Tiger's been cutting his teeth his last 3 fights at 47. Look great. 2 out of his 3 fights at 47. I think he's won by stoppage. Hasn't fought since that Nick Flass fight. He's on the undercard of Mason Cordina, though, in Cleveland, which I'm looking forward to. Now, Keyshawn's had, what, only a few fights at 140? I'd love to see. Tiger versus Keyshawn's a good fight. What do you think of Errol Spence coach Ronnie Shields? He's a good name. He's a well credible coach. His results speak for themselves. I think at this stage of the game, though, Errol Spence Jr. needs more than a new coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm shocked. I am absolutely shocked to see Timmy as the dog here. I already got action on this. Full transparency. I'll show you. I didn't share it I shared it in our Discord. I was absolutely shocked that Tim Tszyu is the underdog against Errol Spence Jr. So I smashed Tim Tszyu at plus 145. I already have action. I know that fight's not until July 26th. I cannot believe Tszyu is the underdog. That Tszyu fight, it's not like Errol. If the Errol Spence fight if he never fought Bud Crawford, it'd be different. But he hasn't fought in over 1,000 days. We know Errol's story. I'm a bigger Errol Spence fan than I'm a Tim Tszyu fan. I'm an Errol Spence Jr. fan. But I told my Discord yesterday, this won't be the first time I bet against Errol Spence Jr. I was a bigger Errol fan than I was Bud Crawford. But I picked Bud to beat him and we won money. I'm a bigger Errol Spence fan than Tim Tszyu, but I'm picking Tim Tszyu to win, and I think we're going to win money. Activity matters. Dude, those 3 years off matter. The car crashes matter. The reflexes, our central nervous system, reaction time. Traveling to Australia, I'm taking Tim 10 out of 10 times at plus money. Ituama can age out Jai. No, I'm thinking the opposite. No. I'm thinking the opposite. I think if Jai would want to beat Ituama, he has to catch him now. OKC just went up. It's 58-57 with 8 minutes left. Is that a Lou Dort 3? Is that a punk-ass Lou Dort 3? I need Wemby to start shooting threes out here. And AJ Mitchell hasn't scored any points. That's going to be the parlay killer. So I just hit, I got Lou Dort. He just hit his 3. Everything's going to hit except punk-ass AJ Mitchell has 0 points. 58-57, third quarter. Is there any truth to rumors about Hooney versus Wilder? I saw a couple channels on Instagram were sharing this. So maybe. I don't believe it, guys. I don't believe anything until it goes official on BoxRec. Or if I see the fighter sharing it. Has to be fake. No way they're dumb enough to make that fight. Who's they? No way Wilder's. Why? Where do you stand on that history? My homie thinks Seiko upsets Charlie. I don't see it at all. I don't even know that fight. Charlie Edwards fight. You're betting on Charlie Edwards? I don't know. Yuri Cedeno, Jai Tucker on the side. It's a good fight. Yuri's the dog. I'm taking. Oh, that's such a good fight. Yuri Cedeno versus Jai Tucker. I'm going Cedeno, dude. Cedeno won money in his last fight in a 50-50 fight. I like Jahai too, though. Damn, they've been Jahai Tucker. Jesus, that's a good fight. Ask me come fight week. I met Derek James in Houston Airport. He told me he modeled his training style after Nacho Berenstein. To be honest, never been a fan of Derek's one punch style. Yeah, not a lot of urgency in Derek James's style. Usyk 1-3. Yeah, I like the 1-3, but I'm hedging it 1-6. Hurricane. Sub legend. Any insight who's training Catterall? He went back. Catterall went back to his boys in the UK. Yeah, he's not in boozy. He went to America for that one fight camp, and he looked great. He looked awesome. I'm leaning on the fact that he's gonna, take what he learned. Catterall seems like one of these guys that he's willing to go, pick and learn from different sort of camps. He's back in the UK, and I'm hoping that if he's the same guy he was in his last fight, he'll beat Giasov. I'm hoping that we're not seeing any degradation. Spence versus 50-50. Yeah, they have, but they have Tim at a plus 185 right now. So I don't even think it's 50-50. No way. Look, man, as a lifelong athlete, as a guy who just turned 44 years old, as a guy who still boxes, who still spars, amongst all the other sports I play, basketball, I grew up playing American football, baseball. I still throw the ball around. I still throw the football around. I run. I power lift. At 44, the thing that I've noticed, even from 44 to 40, it's kind of like what I've noticed that isn't as good as I was. And I'm not a drinker. I'm not a partier. I've never, been in world title fights where I've gotten beaten up. I've never had world level sparring. I've never been in car crashes where I should have died. You know what I'm saying? I was never I was never a drinker. Drink alcohol kills your body, dude. Errol was a known guy who loved his alcohol. Your reaction time isn't the same thing. Your reaction time over time fades. It's not a 50-50 fight. I don't think it's a 50-50 fight. I don't like this fight at all for Errol. Keyshawn would destroy Tiger. I don't agree. Keyshawn's only issues is I don't think so. I don't think you guys would be shocked with how much a jab could control things. Tiger's the bigger dude in there, the longer dude in there. Great speed. His timing on his backhand. You smoking, man. I don't think Keyshawn would destroy Tiger at all. Yeah, I like Zoo. Yeah, tough fight. Try to tug at that dude, but Yuri. I know, man. That's a good fight. Dude, Yuri, good shout out to Self-Made. Yuri Daniel versus Shahai Tucker. That's a good fight. Gato Esparra, Floyd Boots, Canelo Jack. Yeah, very experienced. And more than anything, when you think about the psychology of a fighter, especially for us bettors, what we always do as bettors, we try to find leans. We try to find angles and edges. If anything, I always like leaning the guy with the psychology of, hey, I'm willing to be uncomfortable. I'm willing to go out of my comfort zone. I'm willing to travel, learn new things from other gyms, especially UK fighters. A guy that never fights that I wish was way more active was Aaron McKenna. One of the reasons I rate Aaron McKenna, and I think that if he could get active or get big fights, he can make some noise at 160, is his willingness to, travel to the United States, spar. He spent time with Terrence Crawford. He spent, this is a kid from the UK spending time in Omaha, Nebraska to get rounds with like Lester Martinez and Bud Crawford. That tells you something, the psychology of a fighter. And I think it only is a good thing, especially for guys who feel like they can be world champions. And Catterall, I always talk about, of all the modern fighters right now, Catterall's probably the best to have never won a belt. Catterall should be undisputed. The books on that's the history books on Jack Catterall should say Jack Catterall undisputed champion. For how they did him in the first Josh Taylor fight was atrocious. And then when he finally beats Josh Taylor, Josh doesn't have any belts. So it's just bad luck. Yeah, Tiger is grotesquely underrated. If you guys been with me long enough, you would know the drama that started in my Discord when Tiger fought Nick Flaz. Everybody picked Nick Vlasic except me. I not only picked Tiger, I did a debate about this. I picked Tiger to win by knockout at plus 1,000. And it wasn't just shit on him. I outlined the whole thing. It's one of my favorite calls of 2025. I have a lot of them, but one of my personal favorites, because my attachment to Cleveland, Ohio, was predicting how that would play out. Tiger to stop Nick Vlasic. The people in Tiger's camp have known since he was an amateur what they have with Delonte Johnson. They know. People have known the skill set. It was about bringing it out. It was about him being confident enough and comfortable enough with letting it showcase. They see him spar. They've seen the work this kid puts in. People still don't know about Tiger Johnson. That is a dogfight with Keyshawn. That Keyshawn's not just going to steamroll Tiger Johnson. That ain't happening. Early thoughts on Louis Lewis. Oh, is that fight still going down? I know that whole card got shelved like a month ago. Neary, man, for sure. Louis Neary, that left hook. Casemiro still trying to do the damn thing. Shout out to Casemiro. Still trying to do the damn thing. 64-58, 6 minutes left. Spurs on a 7-0 run. Guys, we are the 72, 65, 62, 52 minutes in. Like the video for me. John says, I'm on Boots beating Zayas too after taking Xander last few fights. He doesn't have enough pop to keep Boots away. True. I think he's lateral movement will trouble Jerron first, though. Yeah, like if Xander's gonna have to wear Boots down, he's gonna have to tire him out. He's gonna have to land big shots. It's an issue. I'm not betting. I'm not putting $1,000 on Boots. I'll just say that. I like Xander Zayas. I like Jerron Ennis. Like the lifelong athlete in me. Jerron's one of my favorite fighters. Seeing a guy I like reflex fighters. You guys know that. Yeah, I was a big Roy Jones fan. I'm a big Josh Kelly fan. I'm a big Jerron Ennis fan. I would love to see Jerron versus Josh. Just for like me as a fan of the sport, I like reflex fighters. I like athletes. I like guys who create their own path, sort of call it what you will, maybe guys who build their own legacy, not following anybody else's rules. Not just in boxing. You know what I'm saying? I always respect those sort of stories. And you watch how Jerron goes about his business, how he fights. There's things that Jerron does that as a coach would make you pull your hair out, but because he's so gifted, he could get away with it. Same thing with Josh. Make you pull your hair out, but they could get away with it. And it's their style. I would love to see Ennis versus Josh Kelly. If that fight ever happened, I would fly anywhere in the world to go see that fight. Not this week. I'll ask later on Massey. All right, good look. Ask me, brother. Oh, man, I cannot stand McCain with his fancy ass hitting threes going like that. I cannot stand Jared McCain, boy. Jared McCain, I like him. I like how fancy he is, but the whole showboat I don't like. Bring back Rick Mahorn. Bill Lane Beer out here. Could you imagine a bloke with pink fingernail polish hitting a three in your face and doing a dance like that, boy? What's Behan? Do you guys watch the 520 podcast? Behan on the 520 podcast would be like, you be out there shitty. A dude out there with fingernail polish on doing a little dance after he hit a three in front of the whole world, you be out there shitty. OKC is the zestiest team, man. Do you think we'll see? Bud's retired, man. No. He retired. Crawford ain't coming back. I know Turkey Al-Sheikh has been kind of like hinting and tweeting and thinking that like 2027 Bud's. Why? Bud has nothing to prove. Bud will be, what is he, 38 now? 39? He don't want nothing to do with Jerron Ennis now. That fight, he's retired. He made his money. It doesn't make sense. Why would Crawford do anything to diminish? He's already built one of the greatest legacies in modern boxing. Bud doesn't need that fight. It's Jerron who needs to show me. Jerron needs to, this is shout out to Xander, shout out to Ennis. This fight is great for both of them, win, lose, or draw. We want, I know that Ennis isn't a champion, but he was a champion at 47. We want to see, hopefully, if Ennis beats Xander, the way Ennis is going to make his legacy, how he wants to create it, is having unification fights. We want to see unification fights in all of the divisions. So Boots beats Xander. Boots fights other champions. Who's he fight? You know, the other champions, we know who they are. We know that Seb has 2 belts, Josh has 1, and Xander has the other. So what does Seb do next? What does Josh do next? We just got to play it by ear. We'll see what happens with Xander and Jerron. I love that fight though. Xander's been a huge prospect, but he doesn't have power to become a superstar like Trinidad Cotto. I pick all the champions again right now. He's not a prospect, mate. You can't call a world champion. You can't call a world champion a prospect. He's been a contender since he was like a 19-year-old. You know what I mean? Xander's been, Top Rank has been molding him, grooming him, for like 7 years, at least 6 years now. So he was a prospect maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He's a world champion. You know, once you become a world champion, all that prospect talk is out the window, right? I think I would take no, dude. Xander versus Sebastian is a good fight. Xander versus Josh is a good. Xander's actually I think Xander's a tough matchup for Josh. Just his overall skill set. Dude, Murtazaev was way too one-dimensional for Josh. That's why I picked Josh to beat him. Josh is a smart fighter. You mix his athleticism and his skill set with being able to figure a guy out early. You don't have to watch too much tape on Murtazaev to figure him out. He's very basic. You know what you have to do to stay safe. Xander's not so much. Xander, man, he could box you, he could counter you, he could walk you down, and he'll be there for the entire fight. Josh, the one thing on Josh is, he's answered those questions a bit, but he wastes a lot of energy. His style asks for a lot of energy, and that's the thing with Jerron. Jerron's style demands a lot of energy. They're not efficient styles. The older you get, that style doesn't age well. We saw what happened with Roy. You know what I mean? Like relying on your reflexes and athleticism as you get older, it doesn't end well. The guys who are more technical, the guys who have an efficient style are usually the ones who could fight a little bit longer, who take less damage, sort of thing. Because the older you get, once those reflexes start going, those shots that you were slipping when you were 27, they're landing at 37. Okay, super zesty. Hey, super zesty. I want to say so. Like, I grew up clowning. Look, it's all fun and games. I want to say stuff, but I'm not going to say it. I like clowning. Like, I grew up with a group of friends. We'd have roast battles. My childhood friend is the king of roasting. So, like, literally, a famous roast comic is like my childhood close mate. So, like, it's part of our culture where I come from, the roast. So, what I'm saying, the team is zesty. I want to clown these guys are, and I played ball. For sure, Top Rank is great at molding champions, and that's my whole beef with Zuffa. Is they're not doing this. Zuffa is if you had any questions, are Zuffa in it for the fighters? No, they're not. Dude, to take a Justin Valoria, who's a 21-year-old prospect, and put him in with a 25-year-old sort of savage. Look at every Zuffa card. Every card you have a 21-year-old prospect in a 50-50 fight. That's not how you develop champions. That's not how you develop stars. That's how you churn these guys out. It's not good. It's not good for young fighters. Yeah, Zuffa needs to work on molding their fighters 100%. They need to hire a developmental coach or something, or somebody who's in the business of skill development, matchmaking. Yeah, that was the golden era. Guys, I got to run. Stay tuned to the channel. It's only Tuesday. Everybody here should be in your film study mode, research mode. We're going to start riffing off each other tomorrow, and then by Thursday, our boots are getting dug in. Best team in